You know what's crazy? An entire generation grew up with Jak and Daxter, and somehow one of PlayStation's greatest franchises ever has been completely abandoned. No remake, no reboot, no sequel. Meanwhile, we're getting remasters of games that are half as iconic. And honestly, the Jak and Daxter series might be one of the best action platform franchises ever made. This game defined PlayStation 2 childhoods. If you ever owned a PlayStation 2 in about the early 2000s, you probably remember the first moment you stepped into Sanover Village. Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. This wasn't just another platformer. This was Naughty Dog proving they could rival Mario and Zelda. No loading screens, huge connected world, bright environments. And the characters, they felt alive. Jak was the silent hero. Daxter, he's still one of the funniest sidekicks in gaming history. Their chemistry carried the entire adventure. But what made that game special? It wasn't just nostalgia, it was how smooth everything felt. Movement, combat, exploration. Even today, the platforming still feels shockingly modern. Then, the series, it took a crazy turn. The sequel, Jak II. And suddenly, the colorful adventure game that we all loved, it went into something way darker. Jak could talk now. What's the first thing he says? I'm gonna kill Praxis. That was PlayStation's version of growing up. The world became a dystopian city. You had hoverboard races, gun combat, missions that honestly felt like the PlayStation 2 version of a GTA. Some fans hated the change, but others loved how bold it was because the story suddenly had real stakes. But then came Jak 3, the peak of the series. This game took everything from the first two games and perfected it. You had desert exploration, vehicle combat, expanded dark powers, better weapons, massive story reveals, and one of the coolest twists in PlayStation lore. Jak wasn't just some random hero that showed up. He was tied to an ancient precursor legacy the entire time. It turned the trilogy into something way bigger than just a platformer. It felt like a full epic saga. But if the series was this good, then why did it disappear? Naughty Dog eventually moved on. Instead of continuing it, we got something different. Uncharted. Then The Last of Us. Two of the biggest franchises in gaming history. I love them, but Jak and Daxter basically became the forgotten middle child of PlayStation, which is wild because the fan base never disappeared. But imagine this just for 1 second, a modern remake of Jak and Daxter. Open world exploration, modern graphics, expanded lore, full voice acting for every character, and the combat that mixes platforming, guns, and powers. That could easily become PlayStation's answer to games like Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, or even something with the modern scale RPGs. And the crazy part, the characters in the world, they already have the foundation. All the franchise needs is just someone willing to bring it back. Jak and Daxter still represents something that's rare today. Games that were fun, creative, weird, and full of personality. Not every game needs to be dark and gritty. Sometimes you just want to explore the ancient ruins, collect precursor orbs, listen to Daxter just make fun of everything. And that kind of magic is still why the series lives rent free in people's childhood memories. So, here's the real question. If PlayStation ever announced a Jak and Daxter remake, would you buy it? Or do you think the franchise should just stay a PlayStation 2 legend? Let me know in the comments. And if you grew up with Jak and Daxter, you already know. Some games don't just age well, they deserve to come back. Let's talk about it. Thank you. Have a good day.